And on that note, good afternoon, good evening, hello, welcome to Wobbly Player Syndrome, a 40k podcast with Australians dribbling about a hobby that we love. We love it, right? Yeah, we do.
Yes. Even if it doesn't love us sometimes.
Thank you for the sub as well. I'll have to start updating these. I have got some new plans on some icons. It's going to be disturbing. You'll love it. And there's Bronner Hill. Look at these two trying to outdo each other. Well, we've got 30 months and 29 months. Oh, come on, Bronner Hill. Pick up your game.
Oh.
Yes, it is a 40k podcast. We do ramble a little bit, so you have been warned. But it is episode 62. Who would have thought? 62 episodes long. Well, after we do 61, why wouldn't you think it? This month, we're talking about 10th ed. Now what? That's right, 10th edition has been announced. There's a lot of stuff's come out, and we're going, okay, cool. But what do we do now in the hobby while we wait patiently? Because we always wait patiently from things with Games Workshop. Just look how patiently people are waiting for the Lion. And on that note, who have we got here? Hi, Mike.
Hi. Hi. Oh.
Touchy?
That was harsh.
So mad about that. Like,
You too?
Too soon. We've also got Mark.
Hey, everybody.
And we've got Adam.
Hello, and I've got my support fat cat behind me.
Can't actually see the fat cat behind it. It looks like a handbag. Now,
Yeah.
there's a little handle.
they're just
Right.
blending into the shadows.
So there wasn't me. You could see a handle. So
It's a
me having
chaos
a cat.
spawn. It'll be
No,
fine.
It's an old headset, that. But yeah,
Yeah.
she just wants attention tonight.
And I'm Greg, of course, or you may know me as Red Belly. It's up to you how you know me. I don't know what that means. How is everyone? How was the Easter break?
I
Kids
got
have
back
been at
from
home.
Melbourne in one piece
It's
with a
good.
toddler who now walks.
I was going to say, was that the
Ooh.
family or just yourself and you didn't want to come back? Oh, you didn't want to come back. But, yeah. Whole
I
family?
wanted to come back.
So the whole family went down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good, but yeah. Was
It's
very
all right.
glad
We
to
get
have
it.
a couple of days off after.
We all have little ones, so when you say, it was good, like that, we can hear the asterisks. It's okay.
There's caveats.
Oh, fantastic. Adam, what about yourself?
I had a good Easter.
It's good. We got to watch a few people have few too many bubblies. That was fun on a Sunday.
Yes, it was quite enjoyable. I've got the red and green pack of Cards Against Humanity now too.
Ah, okay.
So it's my turn to bring it.
Yeah, so Easter Sunday, we went around to a friend's place. The partners got onto the bubbly quite early. And then towards the end of it, we
A little
cracked
bit.
out Cards Against Humanity. And there's a few people who hadn't played before, so that always made it amusing.
That would have been very interesting.
Yes.
It was quite fun.
Yes, there was one person who says, I don't want to play this, it sounds too disgusting. And they won. Thank you, Bulldust! Why aren't you here? Why, you're not good enough for us anymore. Come on. Alright, so yes, this month's episode, we'll talk about 10th edition, where it sits, what do we do. We won't go too details about 10th edition itself, it's more about the reaction of what do we do in the meantime. But first, I gotta take a whiz. No, that's not right. Michael, do you have a list of the new releases?
I just may.
Wonderful.
There's one notable fucking absence.
Do tell.
So, yeah. Arcs of Omen, The Lion, was the most recent thing that came out, like the weekend just gone.
That's awesome. That means the line should be out, right?
One would think that. However, apparently boats are tricky. And GW do not like boats. So Australia has got an indefinite delay on when we're actually going to get the Lion model.
I didn't know it was indefinite.
Yeah, they've given no estimates for how long it's going to take.
Wow.
They refuse to be drawn on it.
They're just trying to find the shipping container that fell off the boat.
Yeah, I mean,
Are they trying to attach them to swallows or something?
no idea, eh? But
European.
like internationally,
African.
I've seen a lot of people talking about how the Lion and his retinue model sold out like instantly.
Yeah.
Like dozens and dozens and dozens of reports of people who were on the website waiting, refreshing for it to go live so they could buy it immediately, and the website crashed at 5 minutes to launch and didn't come back until they were sold out.
Yeah. But
So,
if you go on
yeah, the
eBay,
model was-
you can
the
find
model
them
was-
now.
Yeah, you can buy them for like $300 or something
Yeah.
on eBay. But so yeah, I'm not sure if we actually will see that box come to Australia ever, because they're talking on Warhammer Community about him coming out as a standalone in weeks, and that's going to happen probably before we would get it. So we'll just get that if we're lucky.
So when you say standalone, so what does it come with? Like, it's not
So
blade
Oh, the-
cards.
the-
normally
initial one-
it's
Yeah.
normally
Yeah.
it's a book, and then you get the lion, and there's usually another couple of models thrown in.
Yeah.
Kind of like what happened when Bobby G came around. They had the Belisarius Call, and then they had Bobby, and then they had a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So they're doing that with Arcs of Omen, where you get the book and you get a model, because they did it with Vashtor, and I think Angron got it as well, didn't
I
he?
don't know. I don't
No,
know.
they came out
what
separate.
was in it. It was definitely the lion and a unit of Blade Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the lion and his retinue box.
Yeah.
So yeah, I doubt that
So
will
you
come
think
out.
he'll just come out as himself without the blade card?
At this rate, yeah. Based on what I'm seeing around, I'll be surprised if we get that. Like most stores only seem to get like 3 of those boxes, so I don't think they have any left to ship here.
Crazy.
Other things that came out, Grandmaster Azrael came out as an individual box. Commander Dante came out for the new model. Vashtor as an individual model came out. We got boarding patrols for Votan and Agents of the Imperium.
That box got my attention because I don't have any of those models. So I went, holy crap.
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty cool. I like bought those Kill Team boxes just to get those Agents models.
Yeah.
So I can totally see why you would want to buy that. We also had Made to Order, although it's just ended 2 days ago, for pretty much all the weird Drukhari stuff, the Beastmasters and Clawed Fiends, Grotesques, Mandrakes, Razor Wings, Chimerae, Lemans, Medusae, Sliths, Urguls, and Urian Rakath.
Yeah, all the resin stuff.
Yeah. Which, that's a shame, because some of those were really cool. I actually picked up some of those to use as, like, Inquisition retinue stuff for weird races.
I wanted the hounds, but I thought, you know what, if they're going to discontinue them now, there must be new hounds coming, surely, and I'll wait.
One would think. We got 2 more Horus Heresy tanks, the Sakaran and the Sakaran Venator and the Cerberus Heavy Tank Destroyer, because everyone loves gigantic lasers.
Frickin' lasers.
The much anticipated Lion, Son of the Forest, allegedly came out, but you wouldn't know it because it sold out immediately. And we got like a new compilation of Dark Angels novels. Then before that, we had boarding patrols for the Sororitas and the Custodes and the Thousand Suns. Before that, we got a bunch of Necromunda stuff. The cool Enforcer robot thing, which was pretty cool. Those funny Cawdor chicken walkers came out. That was cool. The Cawdor Ridge walkers, I got a set of those. And they released new Citadel Color box paint sets.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. They're very limited, though, so I didn't pick those up, because I've got the giant one with all the paints.
Yeah.
I just want one with just the new paints in it, like all of the Chaos Marine ones. The Night Lords blue and Lupercal green and Iron Warriors steel, all that stuff that came out later. That'd be cool to have in a box, but they didn't do that.
No. Why would you want that?
And since the last one, we also had Arcs of Omen Farsight, the Boarding Patrol Tau Empire, Orcs, Eldari, Drukhari, Grey Knights, Necrons. They did that made to order of the Steel Legion, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't actually end up picking up any of those. And there was that Necromunda Lady Hera Helmore model, which was interesting.
So lots. This is what happens when we record a week later.
Stuff came out.
I think we recorded a week earlier last month, and then we're recording a week later this month. So that's cramming in a lot.
There was a lot in there.
Yeah. Bulldust is in the chat saying, Dante!
We mentioned him.
Yeah. So
We saw your Dante model.
I did
pre-order
mention
or
him.
was it available?
He went up for pre-order.
He went
On
up for
Saturday.
pre-order, so he's not a new release yet.
Well,
No,
yes,
Accidentally.
accidentally he was. Yes.
yes, he came out accidentally early. I was like, no, you can't actually get Dante. I think he looks like he's sold out. Who knows?
There was only
Hopefully
one
Goldust got his, otherwise we'll never see him.
I did get an Azrael. That's about all I got.
Very good. I've been behaving recently. It's probably because my coffee machine's sprouting water where it shouldn't be in several different places.
It's all right. The new Azrael has a gun that actually physically makes sense.
That's pretty good by GW standards.
Yeah, the old Azrael's bolt gun, right?
Yeah.
It had a bullpup clip, but the bullpup was like attached to like a thin little piece that it wasn't actually.
That's right.
It was
Yeah.
physically impossible for the bullets from the magazine to get into the rest of the gun.
Yeah.
So they've redesigned it and put it on the side.
I thought they were just going to give it a...
No, it's
track.
not a bullpup anymore.
Yeah, they're not going to rail feed it. Because it's
No.
not missiles. Cool. All right, we got that out of the way. What do we go to next? Battle reports. Yes. Look at all those volunteers for the battle reports.
Well, I think it was only me. Isn't it? It was-
Yeah, it's pretty sad battle reports. Let's have a look.
No,
First-
Bulldust has had a
We
couple.
got a Bulldust. Yeah, but he's not. He's on chat. So chat, Bulldust, talk about it.
Not typing.
I got one photo of him, and looks like it's the battle that he's playing against Chris, his Blood Angels. Yes, it is. It's the Eldari because there's the avatar. I actually don't know what the result was. I lost, I won. Okay, that's what Bulldust says. I lost, I won.
Yeah, so
he
he
won
lost on
against
the
you,
class
so he
war
lost
one.
against the Eldari. There you go.
Yeah, he lost against Saudari.
Yeah.
And then we flicked over to... Is that mine? Or
No,
is it-
I'm still going through this one because I've literally got one photo from yours, so I'm trying to drag it out by showing more photos of this one, even though he's not here. Fine, I'll go to yours. There it is,
All right.
the one photo. It's a good photo. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
is
Oh, I'm just-
World
I'll look at the
Eaters
photo.
and Blood Angels again.
Yeah, it was red on red again. And look, it started off with Bulldust going, look, I want to move my deaf company. I'll use one stratagem. I want to move him back into safety. And I went, no, I'm not going to charge him. Angron is not going to go anywhere near him. Move Angron and measure it across him. Good. No, I promised. And I kept to my word. I did not.
Yeah.
I would
Did
have
you
felt
win or
really
lose?
bad. It came down to like 5 points at the end of it, and look, the storm was coming, and there was a storm coming over. Real storm, by the way, not a storm. Ooh, scary storm. Was coming over, and at the bottom half of the turn 5, we sat back and we went, right. I've only got like 3 models left on my table. Let's calculate how many you've got. And it worked out only he won. Bulldust won by 5 points, but Angron just comes back. He just kept going back about 4 times, and just wallop, dead, come back, wallop, dead. He's a machine. Every time he comes in, he just wipes and then dies. But it was a really close game. It wasn't, it was came to calculating points and working out what secondaries, because we did the cards, and that's what we worked out, how close where we were. And I was sitting there going, I'm going to lose. Actually, halfway through I was going, I'm winning, and I looked at the calculator and went, ooh, I'm losing by 20 points. So I thought I was doing really good, but obviously I wasn't. As what Bulldust saying, he just kept killing him, and Angron just kept coming back. I changed my list to take out the Helldrake and threw in some World Eater Terminators.
Yep.
And I think it was the best move I did, because they just survived.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really fun game. I enjoy playing against Bulldust, and every time I played it, either I lose by 1 or 2 or 5 points, or I win by 1, 2 or 5 points.
Yeah.
There's nothing massive about it.
I do question the relevance of flyers in the 9th edition version at the moment. But,
Yeah.
Then we have another battle, and he doesn't know that's coming. It's Michael, an Age of Sigma battle.
That's true. I did play an Age of Sigmar battle, didn't I? Yeah, me and Steve cracked out the beers and the what were they? Bloody Tomb Kings and Stormcast, and went to town.
I just
Which
want
was a
people
lot of fun.
who's watching this at the moment, look at the quality of the terrain. Just look.
Well, like he's not much of a hobbyist, so he's got a couple of things that he just kind of chucked together.
Yeah.
I
Which,
do give kudos to that beer mug, though.
Yeah.
that's actually better terrain than we were using the previous times we played AOS at his place, because a couple of my mates made fun of him for having no terrain, so he like made those out of like just some cardboard he had laying around and was like, "See, we got terrain now, Mikey."
Yeah. That's brilliant. And how did it go?
I actually won. Just kind of rolled through with my Stormcast, just having high armor saves and crawling things in the face.
So you're saying that you're on the board with the ladder.
Yes, I am actually on the board with a win, because that counts technically.
It does.
I did actually play 2 games teaching my son to play 40k as well. You know, now that the new edition is starting to come out, I've been teaching him to play 9th edition, obviously.
Which is video on Twitch.
Yeah,
Which is
no,
interesting.
I fixed that. I just changed screen. I went, well, then can't use the camera. I said, well, why? It was weird. So it does put you on the ladder. Well done.
Yay!
Yay. If anyone wants to know playing at home, the ladder stands at Chris is on top. Anthony is second. I'm in third. I haven't played a game for a while. And Adam in 4.
Yeah, I haven't really had a very successful year so far.
Yeah. Well, I had 3 games lined up over the Christmas period, over the Easter period. I didn't get to play any of them because my son brought the Plague home. It was awesome. Including a game of Heresy. I was finally going to learn to play Heresy. I was looking forward to it. So, unfortunately, no.
That sucks.
Yeah. There you go. But,
I haven't actually played the new edition of Heresy yet.
yeah, well, one of the regulars, Joker, keeps on me all the time over it. So I said, fine! I know how to play, so he'll teach me.
Yeah, I'm still yet to really get out of the house to go find a bloody game. Every time I try and put time aside to come to the monthly meeting, something dumb happens. Car blows up, or we get sick.
Yeah.
Or...
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
It was a mini tournament in May.
Yep, did see that. Mini tournament in May. I'm looking forward to the 1,000-point battle, isn't it? Like last time. Looking forward to it. What I have been doing is I have been hobbying, though. But I think Adam comes up first for the hobby progress.
No,
It
my
is
poor...
Adam up first for the hobby progress.
Now, for the people that are watching, my poor Jackal, or the Blood Weaver from the Blade of Corn Sigma, look, I'm starting to build a Sigma army. Corn, why not? And I thought, he can actually... Well, this character, the Blood Weavers look like Jackals. Both swords. Why not? I can make them Jackals. It was a really fun model, and actually all of that, minus the gold, is all contrast speed painter. Not contrast, but the
Army
mini war
painter.
gaming army painter speed painters, and it actually came out really good. I'm actually quite happy with the way these turned out.
Yeah, looks good.
Huh.
Mike? Yes, there it is. Got you.
Cool. I've been really slow painting this year. Although I did actually finish a model, which was cool. Sat down and properly highlighted up my Carl, because I'm going to try and paint my Votan to a slightly higher standard than I have been doing the churning out masses and masses of like battle ready Dark Angels. So I'm going to try and push that a bit more, but it hasn't been going well because life is life.
Well, the car looks fantastic. If that's
Thanks.
Tier
Yeah,
4 character, I think I need to step up my game before the end of the year.
Yeah, I was just trying to it's been so long since I actually sat down and properly highlighted out a model and finished it. I was like, I'm actually gonna do it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a lot of fun and it was nice. I like it. Although I'm not super happy with his face, but it's okay.
I love how he's on his tactical rock as well. So good to see.
Yeah, always with the bloody tactical rocks. That's the worst thing about having multiple Carls. There's that one pose, so they're all in that exact pose on their exact same tactical rock. And I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do with the second one to try and make it look a little different.
Yeah. Do we blame Star Wars when Kenobi goes, "I've got the higher ground" for the sudden surgence of these tactical rocks?
I don't know, man. But if you look at in Heresy, the Heresy models are bloody dirty for it. They're everywhere. Every second Heresy model is standing on a tactical rock.
And they're not just small tactical rocks. They're like an inch high tactical rock.
Yeah, some of them huge.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's a funny joke to be made about the fact that the space dwarves are standing on rocks.
So because they just
get a little higher. Yeah, you can he can see over the rest of the unit that he's in front of.
Yeah. No, we won't say that. Mark, I've got nothing for you. Anthony's done some stuff. He's not here. Quick, there's Blood Angels. Look at that. Shiny. Yeah, you missed your chance, Bulldogs. You should have been here. Moving on. As I said, I've done a lot. I finished painting up my 1,000 points of Thousand Suns, which is mainly Zangors at the moment. So there's the Shaman. Somebody on my stream asked me to do the disc in a rainbow. I did. It was fun. It was colourful. There's a Dark Gods Spawn. I do like those guys. And that guy is the proxy for the Vortex Beast for Thousand Suns. So I have a little bit over 1,000 points for Thousand Suns. So I'm really keen to play.
Yes, all right, no problems.
So that is fun. It will be a really not a very balanced army because it is all Zangor or old school 1990 Rubik Marines. The nice metal ones that stand like that. But they're painted.
Hey, I'm happy to play that. I may win.
How quickly I get Magnus done? No. So yeah, I'm really happy how they've come out again with the Zangors. I wanted to just push them out as quickly as possible. So except for the metallics, everything else is a contrast, and I really enjoy how they came out.
But that was also the black with the Xenofold on it as well, wasn't it?
It was. It was a slap chop. So you spray it black, then dry brush grey and white, or just white as I did, and then put the contrast over that. So I really like that technique because the black that's not covered by obviously the dry brush really makes it a more contrasting contrast paint. So I found that comes out really nice, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought they were going to be a throwaway unit because I've got them, I've got to paint them up, but I actually enjoyed painting them. It's good, and I like how the rainbow came out. It's pretty. It's kind of pretty. So yeah, I've been busy, which is fun.
Yeah, it's sometimes really nice to paint something that you don't do. That's why part of the reason why my league are blue, because it's not a color I paint. Nearly all my armies are green or red or black.
Yeah, any regulars to the stream when I'm painting Thousand Suns will often hear me, "Gee, I really like this blue," because I don't paint blue. So, yeah, I say it a lot. But I do like the blue. It's a nice blue. Alright, that's the hobby progress. That's the battle reports. That's what's coming out. We're done on our regulars, yeah?
Yeah.
So now we have our little 30-second break. Enough time to, ponder life, question decisions made.
Or a new scotch.
Yeah, that'd be nice too. We'll be right back, folks. I'll try to put my teeth in when we get back.
We are Rollers, and we have the games for you. Be it board games, card games, dice games, or party games. You name it, and we have it. Find us online at rollersboardgames.com and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at rollersboardgames.
From acoustic to distortion, Storyboard Concept is music that's honest, relaxing, and full ball rockin' music. Follow Colin at storyboardconcept.bandcamp.com.
It is.
That's how it is. You are right. Welcome back. Welcome back to Wobbly Player Syndrome, episode 62, 10th edition. Now what? Is that a look? We're not going to go too deep. We'll gloss over a few things that we do know about 10th, because I think there's some rant They're still available in there. And we're not a podcast. We don't get to rant.
It's what they're for.
Yes. We need an outlet to express ourselves in outrageous forms. Alright, so 10th edition was dropped. I think prematurely for them, but we all knew it was coming, and I think we all pushed it. And things like Dante coming out a little early, and things like that was a bit, it's all written on the wall. So we're expecting 10th edition to be about June. I heard 10th of June. That's the Queen's birthday, so that's kind of weird. Do we still celebrate Queen's birthday now?
No.
No, it'd be the King's birthday now.
Right, same day? Because, they're all born on the same day.
That wasn't her birthday either.
I know, I'm aware of that.
Like it's...
Yeah. Just don't take our public holidays.
Yeah.
No, we still get the public holiday.
Yeah, they can take the public holiday from our cold, dead hands.
Yeah. Long live the king.
Yes.
So that was announced. We're all going, excellent. Ninth edition is a bit bloated and complicated, and it's probably a good idea. And then we thought, hang on. Now that's announced, what do we do now with the hobby? What do we do now with the hobby? Like, where I'm going, are you buying
I still think
anything?
they're going to drag it out.
You think you're going to drag it out?
I still think they're going to drag it out. This is GW. They always drag everything out way too long.
I would be very surprised if it was as early as June.
Yeah.
Like, because we haven't even got the last Arcs of Omen book in our hands yet. Like, it's just gone on pre-order. So we're not going to get that in our hands until nearly blooming May.
I still
They're not
think
gonna bring it out
next year may be on the money.
I mean, didn't they say it would definitely be this year? Like, they have
they
said,
did. They said
it will be
fall
this year.
which would be our spring.
All
which
this
is
year.
not
So,
June.
so that's like September.
Yeah.
Ninth came out around August, I think, wasn't it? Because I remember standing out front of Games Workshop at midnight, freezing my backside. Now, admittedly, that's Canberra, and it can be could be in summer and still freezing. But I think it was like August, September. 9th came out. So I reckon it could be around August, September. If it's anything to go by the normal time.
But I mean,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, if you like a model and you want the model, you should buy the model rather than going like unless you're super into the meta and all of that stuff. I don't think that should be dictating what you buy.
No.
In terms of hobby, because ultimately, if you like the model, you're going to buy it, whether it's good in 10th or not.
That's one thing that's really kind of thrown me from what I've seen on the internet. Just so much of this. With 10th Ed announced, me and my friends were still going to start playing. Like, what should we even bother doing now? And it's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like, just buy shit because you like it. Who cares if your shit's not OP in like 6 months' time? It wouldn't be anyway. They would nerf it in 6 months' time.
And as I said, it only really matters to the people who really super follow the meta or massive tournament players or something like that. I can see those guys being a bit, I might hold off on any big purchases because, you don't know where it's going to sit. But like for anyone who's a casual player, I would say if you like something, just buy it. What will happen is at some point your army is going to suck. It's just the nature of the beast. I had Ultramarines, and they weren't great when I switched to Tyranids, who were the worst for years and years and years. And then all of a sudden in 9th, they've suddenly become semi-decent, just in time to probably get nerfed in the next edition.
I don't think Nids are going to get nerfed. They're the new box set.
Yeah, they're going to be the new box set. They'd be one of the only examples that you might actually want to wait, because if you're going to buy a bunch of basic Nids, we know they're redesigning the Termagants, and a bunch of other models like that. So at least in that case, I can be like, I guess, if you plan to buy models that a new version of is about to come out, then I guess.
You might have a Primaris situation. You've got Firstborn and Primaris Tyranids.
Well, Tyranids are never in stock. They're almost a made-to-order item. So it's not like I mean, I tried to get Hiveguard, and it took me 8 months to get like a unit of Hiveguard.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things. If you like a model, I still say, if you like the model and you can get your hands on it, buy it. Don't worry about whether it's going to be good or not in 10th, because chances are what'll happen is they'll release a whole bunch of new minis, and they'll be the ones that are really good, and none of the shit you can buy now will be on that list.
And also, there's a chance that the models that you can buy today, or this week, or next week, you may not be able to get them in the 10th. So you may as well, if you see it, you may as well grab it, build it, because you may never see them again until 3-4 years time when it's made to order.
Or you've got to buy it off some dude on eBay who dipped it into a paint pot.
Hey, you go into my websites.
Or, well, it's like with the basilisks, when I wanted some basilisks for my Imperial Guard, and I ended up buying bloody 2nd edition basilisks because that's all I could get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because if you worry about the meta, you're going to be always worrying about the meta, because, I mean, we're on annual points changes now.
Yeah.
So,
look, it says a lot when the data slate comes out, labeling which quarter it's from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the Q2 2023 balanced data slate.
But they have labelled this one as the last data slate for 9th edition. So we've got at least a quarter before 10th ed.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on what you said, Adam, when you say you buy it and you know what, it might not be available. So there's a fear of it could be legendized, some of the models that are currently out with the new edition.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's where
it'll
people
happen.
might have the hesitation of buying.
But
I can't think
ultimately,
what else
if
on
it's
top ed that would be legendized that's out at the moment. Any firstborn? Who knows?
Well,
if it's a cool model and you like it, the rules should not matter.
If you're a casual player, it becoming a legend model doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
We've used Legends models. We still use those rules because that's what they're for.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're not going to be able to take them to the bloody LVO or something. But if it's been legendized, it probably isn't turbo competitive anyway most of the time.
Yeah.
Like this weekend, I'm going to try and build my Lord of Skulls.
Oh, I want to see that on the table. Took me to figure out what is he talking about. Oh, yes, please.
It is 575 points.
We have to have a mass game at some point. I feel like we need a Chaos versus Imperial force coming. Anyway,
It's all right. If we're going to do that, I need to sit down and paint one of my Heresy lions. He's about the same size. Should be fine.
You don't think you'll have the line in proper?
At least you've got rules.
No. All right. So what about if you've got units? Like I'm putting together 1,000 Suns at the moment. Now I have a choice of giving them the Inferno Bolters or the Flamers, whatever they're called. We'll just go with Flamers. Now, if I put them all with the Inferno or with Flamers, they might not be valid in the new edition. Son of a motherless goat.
Again, rule of cool, whatever looks cool, go with the Flamers. You won't regret it. Trust me.
Oh, I'm going to. It's 2 units. It's unit 10 of Flamers.
As a
and 10
person who
Bolters.
bought
I know what I'm doing there.
the Quad Devourers for the Winged Hive Tyrant that are now no longer even in the game. It's not a combination anymore. So now I have to pretend he's got bone swords and lash whips and crap. And I spent Forge World money on those damn arms. So again, if you like it, buy it.
I know the feeling. I also bought,
we can
I
play
bought the
pretend.
exact same model, and I've never even used it on the table.
Yeah.
as that exact loadout that it's supposed to be, and now that loadout doesn't exist anymore. Yeah.
As what you said, if it doesn't matter, like we don't matter.
Oh,
but I
you
mean,
matter,
it's like-
Adam. You matter.
Yes, thank you. But we usually go, look, I know he's fitted with flamers, but I liked what the flamer looked like. Yeah, right, cool. What type of weapon is that? Oh, it's this weapon. Oh, crap. No, but you know what I mean? You kind of go, look, I really like the way the flamer looked. Can't play with flamer, but this is a bolt gun. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's really easy to tell what a proxy is if it's not a legal loadout because you know it can't be what's on the model.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we don't play for sheep stations and stuff like that. But we just go, yes, I painted it with flamer, but it's not a flamer. You go, absolutely. What is the weapon? You just tell the weapon. You go, cool. Who really cares?
Yeah.
Let's roll some dice.
It all makes sense. Just go nuts. Do it how you want to do it. I'm not buying anything new because I've got enough on my hobby desk to not have to buy anything new.
Yes, I saw the leg day.
Yeah. Yeah. Magnus is after that. Oh my god. Never ends.
Yeah, I'm just like, when people are like, oh, but you know, what if they change the rules for this unit, or what if I can't use this thing anymore? And I'm just like, you know,
Welcome to
thinking
Warhammer.
about how, yeah, I've been playing for 30 years. Like, insert the meme of the guy at the gallows being like, first time, eh?
Yeah.
Like, you know, welcome to a new edition. This happens every time.
Yeah, the gap seems to be getting smaller, but that's a different
It is
conversation.
getting smaller. Actually, I think this one's about the same as the last one, isn't it? Like,
I don't know.
8-9 was like 2.5, 3 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Because I
But
mean,
what
if
we've been
you're
doing this for
even if
5
you're super into the WYSIWYG type thing,
No.
there's nothing stopping you from magnetizing.
Yep.
I mean, other than it fucking being a pain in the
Yeah, I
arse.
was going to say, other than being a pain in the neck. Yeah.
Yeah, but the people who care about that kind of thing are probably the people who are going to put that effort in anyway.
I care
mean,
about WYSIWYG, and I
care a lot about
arsed
WYSIWYG.
using
That's why I
magnets
own-
anymore.
That's
not
why
for
I own so many Space Marines.
yeah, not for infantry. For the knights, yeah, they're magnetized to swap out arms and stuff, but not in infantry. Good God, no. Buddy Mini says he hasn't finished his army for 9th edition to play. 9th edition yet. Alright, so I'm looking forward to 10th because I think it's going to help me teach my boys how to play the game. What I've been hearing about it might be easy to get into. But what do they do now in that gap for people who are trying to learn? 9th edition is not an easy game to learn. Easy to get into, as in you can get a base set, and you could probably play with the base rules without any strategy and stuff like that. But
I mean, that's literally how I've been teaching my son to play.
Yeah,
I'm just
same.
like, we're not worrying about the stratagems. Like,
Yep.
here's the basics, you know, the basic ones, the core stratagems.
Yep.
Those are the only ones we're using. We're not
Cool.
using the bullshit from the rule books.
Good.
We're not using the codex ones. We're gonna learn to play the fucking game first, okay?
yeah, and I'm using custodians, and you're all shit. Ah.
He's beaten me in like the 2 practice training games we played because he is a shit hot roller.
Yeah.
Put him on
This
the
is like-
ladder.
He's higher on the ladder than I am currently.
But it's a serious question. What about new players who want to get into it? What advice do you have for them?
Again, the same.
Yeah,
if you
it's
like, if you like a model, buy the models. You know, buy a starter set of the faction you like. Don't worry about the rules because they're going to be balanced, and your army will be shit at some point.
Yeah, like they're releasing a lot of boarding patrol boxes
Yeah.
and and we've still got those starter sets that were really good, like in terms of like what they are and what they contain. And, like those are a really good way to learn the game. And 10th is going to be different, but it's not going to be that bloody different. Like they're talking up how different it's going to be, and I don't see it.
And I think they're aiming for more balance as well.
Yeah.
with this
You
new
wash your
edition.
mouth out.
So I don't think you're going to. I mean, we're going to wind up not in Codex Creep land, so stuff should be fairly even. You know.
Yeah, they're going to simplify it. Like worst case scenario, you will have less things to know. when
Yeah.
10th comes out. It's not like you're going to have to learn a new set of crazy, 800 stratagems when the new edition comes out.
4 different
Because
books.
they're getting rid of those. You're going to
Yeah.
have to know less. So
Yeah. I'm all
being
for
new going into 10th is an advantage,
Yeah.
Yeah,
not
because
a disadvantage.
aren't they getting rid of the psychic phase as well?
Yeah,
Well, we
they're
can
gonna-
talk about the things we do
shooting
know.
attack and...
We can talk
they're
about
going to
things
go
we do know.
back to there being no psychic phase again,
Yeah.
and they're all going to be like.
There's a lot
morality.
of going back in the
Yeah.
stuff that we know about so far.
Yeah, because
Next
I
thing
mean,
you know,
I've
we'll
seen
have
a lot of
templates
stuff from...
and side armor, rear armor. That'd be great.
Yeah, because as I said, they're bringing back some of that stuff from like 7th and that, where
Yeah.
you've got your universal special rules back, and
God knows we've asked for that enough
God.
times.
Yeah.
yeah. So Deep Strike is Deep Strike now. It's
Regardless
not
of what
15
faction you
different
are.
names for the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
there's a lot. I like a lot of the things that I've seen with
Alright.
that.
And I
It
like
just
that
bugs
they've
me.
I like that they've gone back to unit abilities as opposed to them being stratagems
Yep.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Alright,
And
so
and,
before we go down
oh.
this trial, let's talk about what we do know. We do know we've seen the stat lines. One of the big things that are different is no strength value.
I
yeah,
mean, yes,
they've
but
rolled it
no.
into the weapon profile.
Yeah,
It's just on the weapon profile. Like,
Bliss skill
Which
and
makes
weapon
sense.
skill is also now into the weapon.
yeah, I was kind of annoyed when they were like, "We've made big changes to the way strength and weapon skill and this is what." I'm like, "No, you haven't. You've just moved them to a different part of the data sheet."
Yeah,
Like,
I do like
but-
though, because when you
but
get
I-
a power fist, it's not +2, and then you get to +1 here and stuff. It's a strength
Yeah.
8. You're done.
it's clearer. It's
Yeah.
clearer. Like it's basically the same thing. It's just more clearly written.
Yes.
I just hope that we
Very
don't
AOS
wind up in
services.
that situation where you have one line for, a bolt gun, but your guy happens to carry 2 of the things, and then you've got to remember, hang on, I've got to times this by 2.
So let's talk about the weapons. Did come out, and we know the category of the weapons, and roughly what they will do in the game. Has everyone seen that one? Or am I talking out of my butt?
I
vaguely.
haven't
I've-
actually read that one.
Well, let me
myself.
go through.
And
Keywords. Keywords: assault, heavy, devastating wounds, melter, sustain hits, twin linked. Right? That's what we know so far. Assault means you can shoot without penalty, even if you advanced.
Yep. Same as
Well,
normal.
that's handy.
I like it.
No, it's not the same as normal. That's
No, it's definitely not the same as normal.
Oh, if you've got the stratagem, you can.
No, assault you can still fire, but you're always -1. Heavy, you only get a bonus if you stand still, and then you get a +1 to hit.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so if you move, you can still shoot it. You just don't get the +1 if you were standing still. Mm-hmm. There's a theme that I really like. I'll come back to it. Devastating wounds. They are a critical hit on a natural 6. So this is the big part I really love too. A natural 6. So no +1s to get there, and it becomes a mortal wound. And the shot's done. So it's not a mortal wound plus damage. What you've done, it's the mortal wound to the damage of that weapon. I like it. Nice and simple. Melter.
Yep.
Within half range, you get to add 2 to the damage. Pretty simple. We all know Melter's meant to do that. Sustain hits, exploding 6s. Again, natural 6s only. So, nice and simple. Now, here's the fun one. Twin linked. So, I'm very excited you guys have not seen this. This is good. It's good. I'm just going to bring it up because I want to read it word for word to make you guys love it the most.
I'm probably not going to love it because everything you're talking about, I can't do.
All right, twin linked. Twin linked used to be able to double your shots, and then before that was re-roll the hits because it was a twin linked weapon.
And before that, it was just 2 weapons that could fire at the same time.
Correct. Basically, 2 bolters strapped together with some tape. Done.
Or las cannons.
Yeah. Weapons with twin linked in the profile known as twin linked weapons. I know, crazy. Each time an attack is made with such a weapon, you can re-roll the wound roll. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Boltstorm Gauntlets, for example, is now an attack 3. twin linked, attack 3. I don't know how they get 3 out of 2 bolters, but anyway, that's what it is. Alright, pretty clear so far. Here's the best one. This is on a aggressor, right? So you know they run around with their twin linked power fists. It is power fist twin linked. That is what it is now. Attack 3.
I mean, that seems fair enough.
I find that weird because you can punch that way, punch
Will
that way,
they
not
do that?
punch that
Will
way.
they do that with Calgar,
This
with
is-
the gauntlets? Because
This is the answer to what you were saying of what if they have 2 of that weapon? Are you going to have to manually double it? The answer is the weapon is twin linked.
Yes. I just wanted to... Yeah, I just thought that was strange. A twin-linked power fist. I thought, what?
I mean, I like that because, again, I mean, you're not like, as an example, Quad Devourers, that was an Assault 6 weapon, but I had to remember I had to times it by 4, and then you get into the argument about what the stat line was, and, stuff like, all sorts of stupid stuff.
Making it nice and simple. What I love seeing is not a lot of negatives to shoot, positives to shoot and stuff like that. I'm really happy to see that they cut back. Oh, I get a +1 for that because I'm standing on my left leg, but you get a -1 because you're trying a shrubbery. And if we get rid of that, oh my god, that'd be great.
But because I have void hardened armor, you can't re-roll wound rolls against me.
Well, see, that was that. See, as a Tyranids player, the -1 to hit and not being able to re-roll your your shots and stuff was worth more than life itself, because otherwise you would just splat off the table in like a turn.
Or you get, like, for example, Abaddon goes, re-roll all misses, re-roll all wounds.
Yeah.
And then go against Salamanders. Greg goes, no, you can't.
You can't.
But that's my trait.
Good
Why
for you.
Can't I?
My trait
That's
is say
what
no.
he tells you. Yeah, I mean, you sit back on, but that's...
Yeah. So I'll come
Yeah,
back
I
to
heard-
rerolls. Then I'll go to the next bit. Go on.
I was going to say, on that topic of it being frustrating to lose your special rule to their special rule, I've heard a lot of people say this is the thing that is really the crux of why people don't want to play against the Leagues of Votann, because almost all of their special rules are negating other armies' special rules. It's like one of their core mechanics.
Yeah. I like how you get a bonus for heavy if you don't move, as opposed to if I move, it's a -1.
Yeah.
And I'd like, and I saw someone talking about their assault weapons and can see very thematic where Marines don't generally walk into battle, and they're running to battle and still shoot pretty accurately. Well, now that's reflected with the bolters now an assault rifle, so they can advance and shoot at no penalty.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it
What have
sounds
we
like
got from Melee?
I was going to say,
Sorry?
those changes make it sound like they're pushing for a much more mobile game.
Yeah,
I don't want people to stand there.
And as someone who's converted from Marines to NIDS, where you basically just get unlocked like beast mode maneuverability, it's something they definitely needed, because maneuver is so underrated in the game as a general thing, and freeing it up so that I think shrinking the tables helped a lot in 9th. And I think if they are making stuff more mobile, or allowing you to leverage the advance more, I think you're gonna see a lot more sort of tactical options for people.
So one of the things they've said is they want it to be less death, because there's a lot
And
of
standing back and shooting at each other.
Less alpha striking.
because 9th is definitely a bloody edition. It's not many units left on the table by the end of the game. So they said they want to reduce that.
Yeah, I figured that's what they were doing when I saw that they've unhinged toughness.
Yeah.
Those vehicles, like shooting, unless they radically change the strengths of weapons as well, you're looking at
Well, here's the other part.
5+ to wound with a missile launcher.
The article discusses weapons that they will come back to. Here's your infantry weapons, and here's your anti-tank weapons.
Oh yeah, that anti-tank
Not all
rule.
weapons
Always
can
wounds
take
on a
down
3+.
tanks.
Yeah.
And I like that because
So do I.
that was one of the things I actually enjoyed about 7th.
Yeah.
And when they turned around and said, "Oh yeah, even guardsmen can take down a Titan,"
Well, they
firing
can,
their
especially
lucky
when
shot,
exploding sixes. Yeah, auto wounds on sixes. Yeah.
I actually really liked that change from 7th to 8th, mostly because I'd played a lot of games with knights and super heavies, and when you rolled up to someone and it's like, 95% of your army can't hurt that unit.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
no, I
well,
agree. They
again,
should have a chance, but I think they went too far. Because you didn't
See,
really
the
need to
thing
bother
is
with
that-
las cannons, because if I had 20 bolters, it could almost do the same thing as one las cannon.
well, and one of the things people hated the most about squats was they completely ignored your fucking toughness, basically.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind having a mechanic there where it was you need anti-tank stuff to take down tanks and things,
Yeah.
and it sort of forced you to diversify your army a bit. You couldn't just spam out a bunch of cheap units and still damage stuff.
Yeah.
You had
still
to,
get-
know.
Yeah.
This
So one of the
is where
weapons
I
I did say
enjoyed-
is sorry, Adam.
This is where I did enjoy the Apocalypse rule,
Yeah.
where
yeah.
the character actually had against personnel and against tanks.
Yeah, it was
Like
good.
the weapon had a weapon profile of going AP, or I can't remember, but it was just like on a 4+ against tank, and on a 5, like on people, and then on a 5+ on tank, and you go, okay,
Yeah, I thought it was great because it'd be bolters would be 5+ to wound, but versus infantry would be a 2+. But then a las cannon against infantry was a 5+, because they're not talking an individual; they're talking about a whole squad. And then against vehicle was a 2+. So I thought that was really quite good. You didn't use tank weapons to kill infantry, and vice versa.
Well, and that's where the whole the wounds don't roll over into other enemy models came in, because you'd shoot at a squad of 10, and you'd do 9 wounds to one guy, and he evaporated, and the rest of the squad was still there.
I remember having games where I get excited where I have a snotling would take down something it just shouldn't because it was sheer luck. But that sheer luck's no more. It's just, I got las guns that auto explode on 6s. Good luck to you. But I'm a knight. Yeah, so these are special lights. Yeah. But he's asking if
they
there
get
limits on
auto?
vehicles. Limits in which way? I'll come back to the vehicles because there are toughness has been announced on the vehicles as well.
yeah, no one likes it when your knight gets bitch slapped by some tiny little thing.
Psyker?
Yeah,
An astropath, actually, wasn't it?
it was a Primaris astropath. wasn't
Astropath who went, I've got a staff. Bang! Why are you running away?
Fell apart like the Blues Brothers car.
Quantity. I believe the restriction for 10th is you can have no more than 3 of each data slate. That is it. That is the only rule. You need to have a leader, a hero, and then But there'll be
I'd be
detachments will
surprised
come out.
I'd be surprised if they don't have some kind of detachment rule.
There'll be the basic detachment, which is 1 hero, 1 battle line, no more than 3 data sheets of any unit. Go for gold. Oh, 1 Lord of War. I can't remember what they call Lord of War in this one, but you can only have 1. So that was announced a while back. Yeah, but
that's
I'm
like
assuming
going
that
to the Sigma.
I'm assuming there'll be detachments like here's a salamander detachment, you might get a bonus for something. That sort of style. I just don't want it to go down the detachments that 7th Ed went down because that got ridiculously stupid.
7th got a bit silly, but I will be a little ticked off if they get rid of the fast attack, heavy support, elite
They're gone.
delineation. I think that's really useful though.
I think it's more the Age of Sigma style with the battle line. So that'll be your infantry, your foot sloggers.
But
and
even
stuff
that
like
still has some restrictions, no more than this many of monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
So that you don't wind up rocking 6 Storm Ravens or something.
Well, you could.
Yeah.
You only have 3. As I said, only 3 of each data slate. So Storm Raver, you could max. Going by what we know now, 3 max. Don't know what other restrictions there will be. Aircraft might have.
Which is
another
all
one.
right. I mean,
There'll be
I don't
units
see
that
any
ignore
issue
that,
with that.
though. You're going to need to be able to take more than 3
Your normal
rhinos.
infantry, basic troop choice should be able to expand on that.
At which point will Valkyries be
3
exempt
Warlord
from that as
Titans?
a
No.
transport? Like,
3 Warlord Titans is not allowed because they are Lord of Wars, so they wouldn't. So we're interested to see how the Knights play to that rule because they're all
yeah, like
Lord of War.
they're gonna have to be exceptions for
Yeah.
all of these things because
I'm
there
sure
are
they've got it
armies that
all
break it.
sort of logically figured out or something.
Oh,
Yeah, I
you'd
mean,
hope so.
we can hope. Look, the original, the new index when it comes out
Yeah.
should, one hopes, be relatively balanced against itself.
Yeah, well, they did well with that was 8th edition indexes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was. And I thought they did well with that. They kept it quite balanced until the first codex drop. But
Yeah.
yeah, things started
Yeah.
to get off the hook pretty quick.
yeah,
Though it was very lacking in flavour when it was all homogenized to the indexes.
Well,
yeah,
that's
but that
kind
was,
of, that's what you get
Yeah.
with indexes, though.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and these indexes will be free. So that's exciting. Too many vehicles in 40k now. It depends how you play. I generally have a heavy infantry armies in mind.
Yeah, I've found the vehicles tend to just be distraction devices.
Or even
Like,
when I'm
that's
playing
why-
guard, I've still got 60 plus infantry, even though it might be.
that's why I
5
think they're
tanks.
making vehicle toughness is higher, because vehicles
So,
die
a Rhino-
really easily.
The example
Yeah.
is the Rhino's got the lowest toughness for a vehicle. It's toughness 9. The
Yeah,
highest is a Stomper
Even-
at 14.
Even land speeders were getting toughness 9 from what I was
10.
reading.
I think it was 10.
See,
And
I'm
then
still
even there's a
using
difference
Rhinos
between the
as-
Gladiator and the Repulsor as well. The Repulsor has a higher toughness than the Gladiator. These are the examples they showed.
Yeah.
But 12 was the highest. That was for the Repulsor.
See, I'm using Rhinos as blood tide points.
I want to see what they do for the Land Raider.
Yeah, I hope they get some love.
it'll probably be about the same stats as a repulsor, I assume.
Yeah. Hopefully
I
they'll
love
have some
Land Raiders.
Primaris in it.
I also like a good Land Raider.
Yes.
What I've seen so far in some of the things they've mentioned, it looks like they're removing the rules delineation between Firstborn and Primaris.
Yeah. That's what
Which
we're
is
hearing.
good because it sort of lets you use your firstborn a bit rather
I
than
think
throw them all in the
keywords
bin.
as a whole is sort of not going to be as restrictive as what they are now. You know, that core, that Primaris, that things.
Get rid of core. Just get rid of core.
I think it'll be battle line is the rule. Similar
Yeah,
to
there
what
will-
AOS does.
There will be a new core.
Cool.
Yeah, I know that, but right now the core is just
Oh my
too
God.
crazy.
Unless Space Marine, everything's core. It's great. Characters
Because you've
now
gotta have
join
everything.
squads. They don't have bubbles. They now join squads.
And I like that.
I love that.
That's
That's going
that
old
harkens
school.
back to 7th and earlier,
Oh, that's
where
sick.
they joined the squad and
Yeah.
As
Squad
they
got the
always
benefit.
had done
Yeah.
since, like, up until 8th. And
Yeah.
that's one thing that has annoyed me about a lot of the releases about this new edition, where they're like, we've made this new thing, and I'm like, no, you haven't.
Yeah, we're old
Yeah,
enough
it
to
was like
remember.
that
Damn
too.
you!
The game was like that for decades. That's not new.
Yeah,
But it does simplify a few things and stuff like that
Yeah,
too.
and it gets rid of some of the really stupid things, like when I couldn't shoot your fucking dude because he was behind, because the unit in front of him was out of line of sight, but they were closer to me, therefore I couldn't shoot him.
yeah.
Like, there's been some wild shit because of the way they designed that lookout sir thing, so
Yeah.
getting rid of that can't hurt.
yeah, and you might have
Yeah.
to have a use for your 15 lieutenants.
Yeah, and it gets rid of the friggin' bubbles that are everywhere.
Yeah,
like the
that's
whole
ridiculous.
reason that they're making them join squads is to get rid of the auras everywhere.
Yeah, it'll be
But they
interesting
should
to see
bring
how.
back templates.
Yeah, that's next. That'll be the 11th. Look at this new fancy thing we've got.
We've invented templates, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll get out my fucking apocalypse templates.
Here's
And
our
if you roll a
gem
one,
dice.
Just off my 7th ed ones.
and if you roll a 1, you may hurt your own player. Hang on.
Ah, that was a house rule for plasma cannons. Anyway, we need to bring that back. It takes out
Vortex grenades. Enough said.
Roman grenades. Yep.
I love the way you're shaking your head there.
I got to write the scenario for the May mini tournament. I may just implement that. You know, if you roll a 1 on shooting,
Yeah.
Something is going to happen to those people.
Well, I think one house rule we need to bring in is you roll a 2 on a charge, and even if you're 2 inches away, it's still a fail.
Yeah,
Double one's always a fail. Buddy Mini's still got his second ed templates. Oh, I had to replace mine because mine snapped. But now I have nice green ones. And yes, I still have them. Yep. Yeah. Template weapons. Guess weapons.
Ah, guess weapons, man.
Loved them. Loved them.
Limited ammunition guess weapons.
Sustained dice with the jam on it. No!
Yeah. Yeah, there was nothing like an exploding assault cannon.
Oh, there's nothing rolling those dice and see that jam dice. No. Ah, good times. OC. That's the new thing on the stat line.
I do like the idea of that.
Yeah.
It's cleaner than what they were trying to do.
And it also saves you from counting however many Termagants or Gretchens or whatever
Yeah.
are there.
So the listener's not sure what OC is. I can't remember what the O stands for.
It's objective control.
Thank you. Objective control. It is a value of what you are to try and control the objective. I know, right? So if you're an OC of 2 and someone over there has only got 1 unit, 1 person, but as an OC of 5, 5 wins. So it makes sense for Titans. You know, standing on top of someone going, I don't care if you've got 10 of you. There's one of my foot. Yeah. Play some Necrom if you wanted the horror of jam dicing. Yeah. Yeah. Jam dicing. Yeah. Jam dancing is what it got down, but I know what he's meant.
Play old Necro with the bloody, the dangerous hive conditions table. Oh yeah, no, there's a hive quake. Each side gets D3 guys hit by falling chunks of sky.
Yeah.
Oh no, the ground is lava this game. Can't step on the ground now.
Good times. Good times. And you also touched, yes, there's no morale phase. There's no psychic phase. Psychic is now basically like a gun. You have an attack value like a gun, and you use it like a gun.
I assume it'll also be
sometimes
like a morale ability
Correct.
that you use, command ability.
So morale will be similar to what, as what I understand, and what I'm guessing I should say. Is
the way
like
AOS works.
The shaken, so you won't be as confident.
I'm also curious how they're going to sort of tie that in, if it's going to be like with... Because, I mean, in 9th, you basically just go down your list of guns and you can shoot everything you've got.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there'll be limits on that as far as, you can either pick your guns or you pick your psychic or, things like that.
Yeah, it's a good point. One of the examples they talked about, the bolter and the assault rule, is if you advance, you could only shoot with guns that have the advance keyword. So if you had a bolt pistol that doesn't, you couldn't shoot that. So it sounds like, yeah, you probably are to shoot as much as possible as long as they fall under
Have that keyword.
Keyword, yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean, from the sounds of it, if your psychic abilities become a gun profile, then that will be a gun.
Yeah.
You'll probably be shooting instead of your other gun or whatever. If you can only shoot one gun,
Or it could be a melee ability, like you.
yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting. I don't hate it. I think that's fine. Yeah. I'm sure all Corn players are really upset that the psychic phase are gone.
Well, hopefully we'll not forget our psychic abilities quite so much.
I
You won't be
forget
able.
about my psychic ability all the time.
You
Yeah,
and Angron.
and if it's part of the shooting, then when you fired your bolt gun, you go, oh, hey, I remember I've got a psychic thing. You're not jumping back a phase.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
have
it's the
psychic.
same phase.
Yeah. Can't go back in time. Well, you don't need to now.
Exactly.
Except for using command abilities, which I always forget in AOS.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I needed to use that in the command phase, and I forgot.
Yeah. And we're on turn 3. Mate, come on.
Yes. Hey, can I go back and do this thing that'll change the whole outcome of the game?
Yeah, mate, not a problem. Dickhead.
Yeah.
Look, I'm actually quite positive what I've been hearing about 10th. I think
Yeah,
this way
first impression is pretty good, actually.
yeah. What I have a feeling is there's going to be less. Well, I like to see less rerolls. Rerolls. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Reroll everything. What? Oh my god. Okay, sure.
I
Go
think
ahead.
I think that's part of the idea with getting rid of auras affecting everybody.
Yeah.
Because there were so many reroll auras,
Ah.
so they'll making the captains have to join a squad to give that squad rerolls immediately reduces the number of rerolls that army have.
Yeah. Which means the game will be quicker as well. Because when you roll 20 dice, and I get to reroll everything, and then I get to reroll all wounds as well.
Yeah, and it'll discourage bubble armies where everything stays together to keep that aura going, or to keep that captain and lieutenant aura or whatever.
Yeah, the old castling.
Yeah.
Great.
Yet again, pushing for mobility.
Yeah. Grey
Yeah.
Knights smite phase then were shooting phase. So Grey Knights, interesting. Their shooting phase would be very interesting, combining all their psychic abilities and their storm bolters. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they'll sort of deal with that. I don't know whether it's a psychic or a shoot or both.
Thousand Suns would be similar because their Rubik Marines have sorcerers in them as well.
Mm.
I just like to play the Thousand Suns before 10th drops.
I wonder if they'll end up doing if Smite becomes like a shooting profile, it'll become like a plasma gun. Roll a 1 to hit, your Smite gets hot.
Oh, good point. So perils. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll probably just give them like a hazardous tag or something. It's like anything with a hazardous, if you roll a 1, you're fucked.
If not, that's a house rule. Write it down.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Oh, they were saying that in the weapons that a plasma gun is an infantry killer, not a tank killer. So they'd be interested to see what they do with that regarding AP and damage.
Yeah, I can sort of see that because plasma was only ever really sort of good for light vehicles.
Yeah, it was always
Historically.
supposed to be for killing heavy infantry.
Yeah.
Rather than
The
vehicles.
Terminators and stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Melter is still a D6 weapon. Yeah, I don't know. I think it should be at least maybe a 3 plus D3. But maybe they're getting rid of those stats.
But they did get rid of a lot of those variable weapons too. Because a lot of stuff has just been put to fixed.
Yeah, or they've
like
made it a
wounds.
D3 plus 3. So you've got a base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I think, like for a Melter gun, it should probably have a base.
Yeah, because when you get a wound on a melter gun, you're like, it's not going to do one wound.
No.
Yeah. If you get hit by it, going to have an effect.
Yeah. So I think bringing the minimum damage up for some of those is a pretty good thing because there was nothing worse than rolling like 4 wounds on a Devastator squad full of las cannons shooting at something.
Yeah.
I had that happen so many times where I've rolled like 4 ones and I've just been like, can I get at least one reroll on this? Like,
Less rerolls, the better. Less stratagems, the better. I think the stratagems will play. You'll have maybe 6 bonus ones depending on your detachment, or if I'm playing a salamander detachment, I might have specific
well,
ones for that.
I think there are a bunch of stratagems, but you can
There will,
only
yeah.
pick 6 to bring to the
So
battle.
There'll be
Well,
core
they
ones.
did
yeah.
say the World Eater one. The World Eater book is the preparing for the 10th,
Yeah.
and that's what I mean. If I go the Red Angels, I get these 6. If I go the other one, which is just the World Eater one, I get these 6.
Yeah. I think that's what we'll see.
I don't look at either of them, and that's what it is.
Kind of
Whereas you look at some of the older armies and it's page after page after page
Oh,
of
it's
strategies.
It kind of reminds me of Necromunda, where you got gang tactics cards
Oh, yeah.
and you picked a number of them to bring to the game,
Yeah.
which was cool. But I mean, there were just auto includes.
Yeah.
You know,
So I think that'll be the flavour. Like, we know the Space Marine book will all be, all of them, apart from the variants of Blood Angels, Grey Knights, and so on. But all the Ultramarines and stuff will be under one book. It will be those 6 stratagems that will give them the flavour. My assumption is. So there'll be a 6-1. Here's a Salamander detachment. Yeah. Burn, everything burns. Yeah, that's...
Because I wasn't sure, I can't remember what they were saying about the army rules. I don't know if they're going away or not.
individual army rules. So there won't be an Ultramarine army rule. There won't be a Salamander army rule. It'll be a Space Marine army rule. Yeah, similar to what the Imperial Guard book is at the moment. There's not a Catachan rule. There's not a Cadian rule. It's all of them under one roof. Yeah.
I guess we'll see how that sticks out when the chance to make individual chapter codexes comes around again.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because it's all well and good to have these grand designs, and then they just backflip on them.
Well, Heresy doesn't have a psychic phase and it works. So how do the new librarians work? Dead again, how you going? They
How
don't
do
release
librarians
librarians now for Heresy?
They go,
And it's
Shh.
the thing is that
They search for books.
it will work. It's just a question of how.
Yeah.
I'm just interested.
So for all the Tau players, we're talking about tanks. Maximum toughness is going to be 14 for like something for a Stomper. The Hammerhead is a strength 20 gun.
Then again, I mean, they are railguns.
no,
They are railguns, you know, like...
the railgun will take out a tank.
Oh, I
That's
agree.
right,
It's meant to be a very powerful weapon, but strength 20 seems a bit over the top.
Yeah, but, I mean,
It's
when
not like you get a 2+ against a...
What's the to-hit roll, though?
Oh, don't know.
Yeah, because, I mean, a lot of Tau have really lousy to hit. It's like 4+.
Tau?
The rail-
Lousy to
the
hit?
rail-
Are you silly? Marker
No,
lights.
Oh, yeah, but I'm going off base stats here, not
the railgun
not
was a-
stuff to pump them up.
There
But
are
the
never.
that railgun off the Hammerhead was a one shot
One shot,
and a
yeah.
5+,
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on the marker light, which brought it down to a 4+.
Yeah.
So, you know, a 5+ on a, oh my god, I am going to take out this tank on one shot. It's a pretty savage bet.
Yeah, you managed to do it to me enough, son of a bitch.
yeah. Like
If it's a
it's one of
heavy
those
weapon-
things that when it pays off, really pays off. But
Yeah.
it, you know,
The new edition is gaining heavy weapons that are stationary, get +1 to hit.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to be hitting on a 5+
No,
Yeah.
at all.
no. No more power levels. Not that we care. We never use power levels.
I mean, I thought they weren't. I thought they were helpful for like new players. Like,
yeah, because it was
for new
nice
players,
being able
yeah.
to just throw together an army and not worry about your
Yeah.
points for your options and stuff. You could just go, right, I've got these guys, I've built them up with this, bam, send it.
yeah, like I've been playing with power levels with my son.
Yeah.
And I know that the local GW, they run like a beginners and kids league that is power level based, where they get them around,
Yeah.
one night to teach the kids. So it's a good entry
Yep.
to not having the super complicated granularity of points. I liked there being an option.
Yeah.
Taking
No,
it away
I get
does
that.
make it.
But it
No,
might
I
be
was-
an easier point system. This unit is 30 points.
I
Full
was
stop.
hearing
Because a
that,
lot of stuff is free war gear at the moment. So,
Did anybody else hear that rumor that they were talking about making options free?
Yeah, I mean that's what Greg was just saying.
yeah. So,
I'll be curious if they stick with that.
Because I mean, effectively, you're
that
still
would be power
like
level. if
you're
that
still
was-
using power level.
Yeah, effectively.
Yeah.
If everything was free, your points is just a higher looking power level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
I don't
that-
want
that-
everything free. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, because a lot of units, their weapon options are not equivalent,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and if they
agreed.
are, that's a problem.
Yeah, you can Death Guard Marines, they can have
Well, you might
all
find
the
that
weapons
you
for
might
free.
find that options are less. Like there will be less options. You know, you'll have one or two loadouts, and you won't have where one is like beast mode, las cannons, akimbo, and one is claws that don't have any AP. You know.
the free
Well, it's like-
options is an AOS thing. Okay. There you go.
I always liked how you could take a budget version of a unit. And with a scout squad, when you were building a marine army and you're like, well, I only have this many points left, so I'm going to take
Correct.
like a couple of scouts with
Yep.
like fucking shotguns
Yep.
instead of a unit of scouts with camo cloaks and sniper rifles. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's harder to make a 2,000 point list to fit because they go, oh, I'll just take out 20 points, but everything's free. So I can't
Yeah.
take out 20 points. I have to take a whole unit out. And now I'm short by 110 points.
yeah. Try writing a spot on fucking Imperial Knight army. You just
Yeah,
can't.
you can't.
You know, the number of games I've been like, yeah, it's a Knight army. They're 60 points under because it's the closest I can get.
Loadout's like the new... this is from Dead Again. Loadout like the new Terminator models with only limited loadout revealed so far. Yeah. Yeah,
and
expect-
see if they've only got one or two loadouts. It
Well, they only had one or
simplifies
two
things.
loadouts anyway, didn't they? Either Lightning Claw or Thunderhammer and Shield. Oh, not Lightning Claw. You had the Assault Terminator and you had
Yep.
the normal Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the normal Terminator, you had what? You had Stormbolter and
Cyclone.
And Power
It was
Fist.
like
Power Fist.
Cyclone, Heavy Flamer, or Assault
Yeah.
Cannon.
And then the Assault was the Thunderhammers or Lightning Claw.
yeah.
So they did
Unless
do
you were
it.
Deathwing.
Oh, okay. So how do you feel about the
That's
new Deathwing? No more...
I'm frankly surprised they've made such a big change in the lead up to the new edition. It's like, why bother?
oh, so if you know, the new data slate did drop this week, and they have removed the transhuman ability of the Dark Angels, Deathwing. Thank
Yeah.
Christ for that.
It's a
Not the-
real, like, I didn't think it was that bad, but I haven't been running them as a full Deathwing army. From what I've heard, a lot of people online have been complaining about Dark Angels fucking up the meta because people were taking pure Deathwing armies and just wrecking shit.
Yeah.
Interestingly, you know, you can get a lot of secondhand Dark Angel Deathwing now.
So I know that that because transhuman was subtract from the AP, wasn't it?
No,
No,
it was
can't
you.
get wounded.
No, that's
on
armor.
wound.
You
4+
can't
to
wound on better than a 4+.
no matter what weapon you have.
Ah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all Deathwing
okay.
had that.
Yeah, it was shit.
I'm going to hit you with this strength 20, so that's a 2+. What?
That's a 4+. What? But why? yeah.
yeah, okay, that's a bit rough.
Yeah, it was shit. People say that the Death Shroud and the Bloodlord Terminators are overpowered. I said, no, they don't have transhuman. Transhuman is the best thing to have.
It made Deathwing like actually tough.
Yeah.
Like they didn't get swept like a lot of Terminators did.
Hmm.
There's a reason they were usually the only Terminators you saw floating around.
No, you saw Death Shroud and Blightlords because of their...
I meant real Terminators, you know,
4+
Imperial
of them.
Terminators.
Oh, my God. I was talking about Chaos. Come on.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you know, like
Yeah, get that up, yeah. There was something else I was going to say. It was really important, and you would have been in awe.
cool.
Yeah, well, our big bad dad is back now, so it's established that we're out of
It
oil.
sounds like he's still slept in, mate. Come on.
He's back in spirit.
He's
He's brushing his
He's
teeth. It's
waiting
going
for
to
the
take a
boat.
while. He's been asleep for a while. He's got some hell of a breath. Which head are you going to put on him?
I'm honestly not sure. I kind of like the wings, but I also kind of like the hoods. I don't really like the bear head as much as any of the other options.
Wow. I actually like the head out of the ones. Or the hood, maybe.
Yeah, the hooded bear head I think looks so much better than the normal bear head. Like,
Yeah. The lion has a
Not
bear
intending.
head.
not intending the pun of him being a hairy bear.
Yeah. I like how he's made him look old too. Just pointing that out too. Okay, so 10th edition is coming. We're still playing our games. We're still going to buy models if we want to get the models. If you want to learn the game, there's nothing stopping you. Don't stop investing in the models if they go, well, that's cool, I want that. Do you think they're putting the full effort, GW, putting full effort into these latest releases knowing that 10th is around? Like is
ooh.
Dante and the Lion and even the data slate, are they actually fully 100% effort, or are they just Just put it out as we're changing it in a couple of months. Who cares?
I was actually surprised by how much hate I've seen for like Dante and Azrael and the Lions release because they're balanced. Like, I've seen a lot of people online bitching and moaning that they're not ludicrously overpowered. And I'm like, you're complaining because they're too balanced.
Yeah.
Think about what you're saying here. Like, so I've been surprised that they're bothering to try and rein in the power creep, and like with the Deathwing change, in the dying months of the last edition, they're still bothering to try and put some balance back into the game.
Yeah, I thought for sure it was going to be like when Bobby dropped in 7th, where it was just like, fuck this, he'll just kill like 2,500 points on his own.
Yeah, Bobby has come back, grease the fuck up. Like,
Yeah,
I think what they're trying
because
to
Bobby
do,
won't.
yeah.
and this is just me, I think they're trying to obviously make things balanced to go, hey, guys, just be prepared. This is what's going to be looking like.
I
Like
guess
the
it's
last codex that came through, they said, guys, this is what the codex is. When you get this stuff, this is what it's going to look like. And now I think they're just trying to roll it in. So when 10th hit, you go, oh, okay, well, I understand how that goes, instead of going, but the Lion was
No.
like
All
last
you're
version.
doing is you're paying the rage forward. So they're raging now so that they don't rage in 6 months or whenever they release 10th.
Yeah, but
and all their shit gets nerfed.
It gets them ready for what's coming. You know what I mean? Instead of having, oh, but the Lion was like a one hit killer and everything like that. He's not, you know. And you sit back and, well, no.
Oh, he still has over 20 hits.
Oh, he's pretty killy.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
He's dead, Killy. But they
Yeah.
didn't, like, a lot of people were complaining they don't have one of those, phase wound limits or something like that, and they're too easy to kill and all this shit.
He's only 9
Yeah,
wounds,
and-
isn't
and-
he? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
hang
and
on.
they basically
Hang on.
haven't made him bullshit.
Yeah, he's not bullshit, is the answer.
Yeah, but
He's still pretty fucking hard, but he's
Hang
not
on.
bullshit.
Angron's another one. Yeah, Angron is not he's super killy. He will kill anything in front of him, but
he
he'll
dies
only
pretty
last
quick.
one phase, and he's back. He's dead. You know what I mean? And when he comes back, he doesn't come back with full health. He only comes back with not even half. Half wounds. So at the end of the day, he's only going to last a phase, and then he comes back.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. But when he comes in, he's going to kill. So that's what I mean. He's a one hit wonder.
I'd actually put it that Abaddon was a bit more bullshit than Angron.
Yeah,
Yes.
and that's what people have been complaining about. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
want like every new fucking character to be like an Angron or a fucking Gazkul. I mean, sorry, a Abaddon or a Gazkul. And
You
they're
can only
not.
take 3 points off each phase.
Each
Oh,
phase,
you can't
yeah.
kill him in each turn. Well, no, if you're going to kill something, you want him dead.
Yeah. I actually like
I
that
mean-
about Angron, because he was, when they did Angron versus the world 1-on-1, I said, well, that's not where his power is. He keeps coming back. You can knock
Yes.
him down, but he's going to keep coming back and kick you in the ass. Yeah, I really like that dynamic of that one.
And don't get me wrong, it was fun when I popped Bobby G down on a table and marched across and killed 1,500 points worth of Tau single-handedly with no cover or anything. The problem that you have, though, is that when you have a bullshit unit like that and you pull out Bobby G and he's unstoppable,
Yeah.
you're not going to have people wanting to play you.
No.
You can't ever put that on the table unless it's like some ungodly 10,000 point game or something.
Yeah.
You know, like at least if they're not bullshit, then people have a chance and they feel like, oh yeah, this might be interesting, you know, as opposed to,
Yeah.
oh crap,
So-
why didn't I bring, you know, X Primarch with me?
Yeah, I agree. The last thing I want from my 40k is it to become Hero Hammer, where it's one guy does all the lifting.
Yeah, it's like, I think I've previously complained that I think that named characters should be a sometimes food. But the way 40k is played these days, they are not designed to be used in rare occasions. They're supposed to be part of the army. And if they're going to be part of the army, they need to not be bullshit.
Yeah.
No one.
that-
Buddy Minis has got. No one used to care when a bloodthirster was put down.
But that's what I mean. Angron, he's part of.
I don't
the
think
army.
I ever saw a bloodthirster.
You haven't played Adam for a while, then.
It was. I think I was playing Warhammer for a decade before anybody actually had the money to buy one.
I
Man,
played against
when I
Adam.
started-
He had Be'lakor, one of the bloodthirsters,
Bloodthirster, Infinitive Rage,
Two of-
Scarbrand.
Scarbrand, and then you also had the Slaanesh versions of them. Basically, I can't think what they were called. The great
All Exalted.
Keepers.
This was before their codex came out. All
Yeah.
Exalted as well, and
So-
they just
And I had my guard.
back when I was first learning to play 40k, every Chaos player I knew had a copy of Hero Quest because the best thing about Hero Quest is the Bloodthirster.
That little miniature, the little.
Yes, every single guy I knew who played Chaos had that fucking gargoyle because it was like the same size as the Bloodthirster in like Rogue Trader.
Fantastic. I love that idea, Bunny Minis. Great Unclaimon with a heavy flamer sick template. I love it.
Well, yeah, that did used to be a thing.
Did it? I
Yeah.
don't remember that.
Stream of Corruption used the Flamer template.
Oh, of course it
Yeah.
did.
I know there was a whole bunch of units that did stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Bring it back. Bring back the templates. It'll be 11th
Like
edition.
acid
We'll start doing
spray
a wish
for
list for
nids
11th
and
now.
things. And...
Typical Warhammer fans. We'll start talking about 11th. Tent is
Yeah.
broken. Oh dear, oh dear. All right, we rambled a while. You got anything else to say?
No.
Hopefully they'll do Imperial Guard Codex not last.
Oh no, because the Imperial Agents is last. That's how it works.
But that they've rolled them into Imperial Guard, which is how they did
No,
it.
they didn't.
They just released the data slate for
They just did.
them.
Yeah,
like
Oh,
free
they
data
did
slate.
they?
last
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Or, like it was like last week or something. It was really recently. They updated it to include all the Arbites
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 10th
or
confirmed.
the RBTs.
RBTs, Arbites. I don't care. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. It's not going to stop me from putting all the models and stuff I have together because there's a shitload of them. It does make me start going, oh, what loadout am I going to give him though? And then I just go, who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still going to build whatever I have, and I'll just build whatever I think I would like.
And that shotgun, if that happens to need to be a Volkite gun or something for a game, well,
Yeah. I am interested to see what the tournaments are doing at the moment, like ones that are coming later in the year, how they are addressing that.
Well, they're probably just going, we're 9th and bring your 9th stuff.
Yeah, it'll you often see that they'll be like, we don't know when this is coming out, so even if the new edition comes out, from this is the concrete date.
Yeah.
You can only use rules from there.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them have done that in the past.
Very good.
It's not going to be like Ye Old World Challenge back in the 90s where I showed up with the fucking armies book that came out the day before.
What is that? Look, it's still fresh ink.
Yeah, it hasn't dried yet.
Yeah. See, things can turn up on time.
But yeah, I'm just going to continue with Operation Try and Paint These Fucking Votan.
Yep. Mark, what about you?
I'm going to continue painting my Nids, or looking at them and wishing I'd painted them.
So no change. Excellent. Adam?
I'm going to continue with whatever I have, and obviously finish Sigma, but obviously Lord of Skulls, and I'm just going to start just going through my pile of shame or my vintage wine collection. I mean,
Well, I'll help with the vintage wine.
no, but that's what I mean. I'm not calling it my pile of shame. I'm
Pile of
calling it my
potential.
vintage wine.
Yeah, the
Yes.
pile of potential.
But that's what I mean. I'm just
If you call it a pile of wine for that, it's not the wine you drink. It's why have I got so many minis? Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I'm going to
Maybe
keep
be able
going.
to finish the monolith.
Going to keep going. I still want to play 40k, so I still want to play 9th edition until it drops. That hasn't stopped me from going, oh, I don't want to play until the new one starts.
Yeah, the idea never even occurred to me to stop playing till the thing comes out. I'm still going to keep trying to get a game, and the universe is going to keep stopping me. But you know,
what's the date for the tournament?
Yes.
Good.
I don't know.
Good. I'm glad we got
Excellent.
that sorted out.
Let me have a look at the event.
I've got it in my calendar somewhere.
Yes.
as long as it's not May 13, because I'll probably be very
No.
drunk.
Sunday the 7th.
Yeah,
Okay. Anniversary weekend. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, there's that life again.
No, you got to book it in because otherwise it will never happen. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up because otherwise we're going down a pathway you'll find out too much about us, and nobody needs that.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
Nobody needs that. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Mark, Michael, and Adam again for spreading the word of wisdom that everyone listens to and embraces, knowing the knowledge has been shared. 10th edition, what now? Means nothing. Just keep going as you are. Be excited about what's coming up. That's pretty much
Stay
it.
on target.
Stay on target. That's it. So, say goodnight, Adam.
Good night, Adam.
Had to think about that. Good.
Yes.
Mark! I'm not going to tell you
See
to
yous.
say goodnight. You can do it yourself. And I'm going to say goodnight as well. I will be back, of course, Hobby Night tomorrow night, which is a Tuesday, Thursday night. Yep. If you do want to support the channel, please do. You can jump on Spotify, find our Wobbly Player Syndrome podcast. You can help by words of wisdom trying to speak. Somebody needs to tell them stuff. You can subscribe to Twitch at Red Belly. You could also hit the like button on the YouTube once this is up and running. You can also buy gear, like wonderful t-shirts none of us are wearing. Actually, I do have one. Any help is always appreciated. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to run it over to Radio Mike.
What is in a game? Would in addition by another number smell as sweet? What will we do while we wait? Well, you can always listen to more Wobbly Player Syndrome, so join us next month.